HTB family, how's it going? Welcome to Hold the Ball. Hope you guys are well. Thanks again for tuning in. Alas, my arm has been twisted. The HTB family have voted, and you guys picked the Roosters as a whole. So I guess I'll be going with the Sydney Roosters for this preview here. But before I get into it, DJ, hit that intro. Right, it is the Sydney Roosters up against the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Basically a replay of last week's game over there in Allianz Stadium, but this time it's a Sunday Arvo game, right? Both the teams here, for mine, are pretty strong when they verse each other, right? Again, it's one of those cliches, but it really is between them. Throw out the form, throw the form out the window, and let these guys just basically collide into each other. Now, I'll be going through the Roosters team and then just going from there, yeah? Let's look. So the fullback is James Tedesco. The wings are Daniel Tupou as well as Joseph Swali. And the centres are Paul Momirovski as well as Drew Hutchinson. The halves are Luke Keary as well as Sam Walker. And the props are Jared Wairau-Hargreaves as well as Siosiwa Taukeaho. And the hooker is Sam Verrills. The second rows are Angus Crichton as well as Nat Butcher. And the lock, Victor Radley. Very interesting selection there. The interchange is Connor Watson, Egan Butcher, Adam Kieran, as well as Matthew Lodge participate. And the reserves, you have Kevin Naikama, Terrell May, Oliver Gildart, Fletcher Baker, as well as Siwa Wong. And that makes up the Roosters side. My thoughts on the side overall, look, obviously we know that Joey Manu is not playing due to the injury, but good news for you Roosters fans. Or should I say Roosters fans, right? I'm pretending to be a Roosters fan for this week. Joe Manu, the suspected out-of-season call is not necessarily going to be the case anymore, apparently. Probably a week or two, so there's good news there. Look, obviously, Radley being selected, as I mentioned before, is an interesting call, considering how much considering what he goes through on a regular basis, really. It's really tough, what he brings to the team. It's tough, it's gritty, it's hearty, but at the same time, it's also comes with its own risks and unfortunate results. And in saying that, though, it's good to see him back in the field nonetheless. So there you go. You take it as it is. The props, JWH, who doesn't love watching him play. Taukeaho as well has been a solid, prop, I think, for mine, for the Roosters. Tupou as well, and obviously, look, you can't go past James Tedesco. The fact that this is a second game is really interesting, especially in the NRL context. You don't really get this happening too often, where, the end of round, the last round you play, and then the following round you play again. But much like a game of chess, I suppose, it's about learning where you went wrong, and again, trying to mitigate those errors there for both teams. I mean, overall, it is what it is. Looking at the strengths and weaknesses of both for the Roosters, I don't think there's too much there to really elaborate on, apart from the fact that sometimes, on the odd occasion, I think sometimes, just like the second half against the Rabbitohs, these lapses, moments of these moments in the game where lapses of concentration begin and overlaps happen and all that jazz there. And for some reason, the Roosters, as comfortable of a lead as they had, you almost feel like it was going to dwindle down into a loss potentially if things kept on going the way they were. So again, it's about trying to, cut up those things and errors there. But in terms of strengths, I think their forward pack is immense. Obviously, their backs as well. The likes of Tupou, Swali as well. I mean, I didn't really touch on them beforehand, but that's a very deadly combination right there. Dangerous, if you will. James Tedesco as well. Again, just the bread, butter, and a bit of the peanut butter there as well. But, again, Matthew Lodge as well coming off the bench will be a good look. Crichton, is it their most experienced squad? No. Obviously, they've got a few key injuries, to be fair with you guys. But again, it's a squad nonetheless that I think can do the job against a very hot and I think determined Rabbitohs side, to be fair with you guys. Look, in terms of 5 players to watch, I think I'll go with the Rabbitohs first, and then I'll go straight into the Roosters. So, look, first 5 for mine, for the Rabbitohs. Look, Latrell Mitchell had a game he would probably rather want to forget. And we all know, though, that the bounce back from Latrell Mitchell is can always be a very good one. And I think he'll be one to watch, especially. I think the Roosters really need to shut him down because this game here, I think he's going to be back with a vengeance. Another player for mine is Campbell Graham. Obviously back from injury. He can create things out of nothing. He is a very strong, potent player. Defensively as well, very sound. But I mean, in terms of the attack, he's one to watch out for and will be in good stead, I think, anyway. 5'8" for mine, I think, will be Cody Walker. Obviously, again, a bit of a silent game from him. How does he bounce back? I think for mine, he'll be one to watch. The response, from the initial game is always going to be important. I think he'll be one to watch. Last two for mine I've got here is Keon Kolomatangi. Again, is very consistent. I mean, bar one unfortunate obstruction call, that guy is probably going to score, in my opinion anyway, one of the best close range tries I've seen in quite some time. It was so brutal, it was a lot of strength, ferocity. He'll be one to watch. Absolutely, he will be. And last but not least, the captain, Cameron Murray. Now, we all know, literally in the second hit-up of the game, tackle, he was out. And it's quite interesting that he's back in the squad now. Obviously, it's almost health. It's basically the gravity of this finals game, right? It's that over his health, I think. Obviously, a few people have been talking about it and saying that he shouldn't play. But ultimately, that's up to him and his doctors, right? And he'll be very pivotal. And I think the Rabbitohs definitely miss his leadership, what he brings to the game, right? Their flexibility, the very good ball movement, strength, defense. It's just a lot of these things there. When your captain's not there, the ship becomes a bit rudderless. So again, that was probably a prime example, but yeah, Cameron from mine. For the Roosters, I think number one goes to James Tedesco. He was very electric, so to speak, against the Rabbitohs last week, and again they'll be looking for him. Right, I think it's as simple as that. Next player for mine is Daniel Tupou. He comes back from injury. Again, somebody who's going to be very pivotal. He knows how to score a try or two. The battle between him and Tane Mill may go in his favour. This could be one to watch out for. Another one as well I picked for mine, I think, is going to be Joseph Swiley, and I don't know why, but I've just got the wings on my mind. For the Roosters. No, not chicken wings, but I just think the wings will be a pair to watch, and just Swiley for mine. He's strong, he is fast, he is athletic, he is all those good things, and I think will be one to watch out for. Now, two more for mine. I reckon will be Jared Waerea-Hargreaves. He's going to set the tone. The aggression is never an issue with Jared Waerea-Hargreaves. It might be for us as fans as we comment our thoughts on him, but really, it is what it is, right? You've got to take it for what it is. He's going to be leading from the front foot. No doubt he does not back away from anyone. Will be ready to take the challenge head on. So I think he'll be one to watch for mine. And last but not least as well, ironically enough, I've got Matt Lodge off the bench as one to watch. He adds so much to the Roosters go forward, especially when the opposition is tired. Just seems to be right in the thick of it. And as per usual, Matt Lodge never takes a back step. He's always up front, very tough, tenacious. And I think he'll give the boys a lift when they need it the most. So those are my five there for both teams. What are yours? All right, guys, so here we go, right? It's the prediction part of the game. The reality is, the way that the Rabbitohs were playing in the second half of that game made me think that they've probably got the legs to really dominate this game, maybe even from the get-go. But in saying that, obviously, Roosters will have to have their say there. However, in saying that, it's a match for the ages. We always love it when the Roosters versus the Rabbitohs, the double R&R. There's nothing, I think, that is more exciting when it comes to watching any New South Wales team, for mine personally, in terms of a derby match, than Roosters versus the Rabbitohs here. But look, obviously, both teams are still not at full strength, to be fair with you guys. Still not 100%, particularly the Roosters. But in saying that, I think for mine, you're gonna have to give this one here to the Roosters. It's just purely for the home game. Now, in saying that, I say this in large, bold letters. Disclaimer. Don't be surprised or shocked if Rabbitohs win. Don't, you know what I mean? This ain't gonna be an upset if they win. To be fair with you, it feels like this game here, they're virtually neck and neck. Like I said, probably just the fact that it's a home game, do you lean towards the Roosters? But like I said, the Rabbitohs, they experienced that loss there again. Usually, in a lot of these games, the team that loses tends to learn more. It is what it is, the psychology behind it, any sport. your NBAs in particular, NFLs and all that stuff there. Again, how do you sort of bounce back from that? I'm pretty sure Rabbitohs have more answers than the Roosters, but in the Roosters camp, though, it's about trying to keep composed. It's about trying to just keep doing what they're doing, I think, anyway, right? I think they've got a lot of class, to be fair with you. So how do they use it? Again, have to wait and see. But for mine, I'm going to go with the Roosters. As I conclude this game, though, we all know there's a lot of hotheads in this game here, right? There's enough hotheads there to warm up a house, I reckon. The likes of Latrell Mitchell, Jared White-Hargreaves, Cody Walker, and at times you got Victor Radley as well. So again, this game here is not short of drama. It wouldn't be, especially between these two teams here. But one thing I haven't really touched on as well is the halves game as well between the two. Carey and Walker versus Walker and Ilias. It's going to be a very tough game, and like I said, it's basically game 2, if you will. So it's going to be interesting. As for the Roosters, I think they're going to try and the more you get Latrell Mitchell angry and fired up, the more it probably works in your advantage, But the more cool-headed Latrell Mitchell is and collected, the more you're screwed. But Roosters, for some reason, tend to just bring out this very hot-headed Latrell Mitchell, that no other team can bring out of him, But for the Rabbitohs, I think for them, it's about pressure. Pressure really is just go forward. I don't think Roosters could actually handle the Rabbitohs attack. I still think for mine personally, on a good day, I still pick Rabbitohs attack over Roosters, to be fair with you guys. I just think overall, though, Roosters just have them covered overall. But in terms of attack, I think I would give the points to the Rabbitohs, particularly in the backs there. But like I said, it really is about trying to cancel each other. It's a game of chess. But it's going to be interesting. But the conclusion really is sit down, watch, get ready for a bit of good, exciting footy. I'm going to be back in the Roosters here, but watch it anyway. Anyway, take it easy. See you guys next time. Good luck to your team. And if you want your team doing what they have to do, hold the ball. All right, take it easy. See you guys next time.